It is my pleasure to bring on to the program Jennifer Quintana. How are you, Jennifer?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing phenomenal. It's another exciting week ahead of us here, and there's so much going on in our backyard here in South Florida. It's absolutely crazy, and every time I look, a big part of everything going on in South Florida is directly tied in to FIU. And FIU is just, it's not just a top university. It is part of our core here in South Florida. And I know that you're proud to be with FIU, right?
Oh my gosh, so proud to be at FIU. I am actually an alum. And so it's something I'm really passionate about. And I'm so lucky that I get to do this every day. I get to work with our alums, and I get to work with an institution that, as you said, it has so much impact, not just in the Miami community, but globally. And I'm sure a lot of your listeners are FIU alums. For those that have not visited FIU's campus recently, you won't recognize it. It's incredible how much it has grown. There's a new building popping up on campus, it seems like every day. And there's actually streetlights on campus now for those that haven't been in a while. So it's really incredible to be part of that growth and to be part of that momentum.
I look at FIU, the main campus in West Miami-Dade County, 107th and Southwest 8th Street. And I think I look at, and I was just there last week, and I look at what's going on there, and the buildings going up and the construction and some of the cranes. I think it just mirrors what's going on in downtown Miami and Brickell. Because you look at the growth there, and then you look at West Miami-Dade County, okay, where are the cranes? Basically over at FIU. So it's like you just said, the growth is just unbelievable and a lot going on. Let me share with the audience a little bit about you, Jennifer, so that we can make that connection. Jennifer joined the College of Business as Director of Alumni Relations back in 2014. She directs strategies for the college's annual fund initiatives, alumni programming, and manages alumni relationships and local, regional, and international engagement initiatives. Prior to joining the College of Business, Jennifer was the Assistant Director of Alumni Programs at the University of Miami School of Business. Boy, they got to be really sorry they lost you, huh?
Yeah, well, it was a fun time. I was there for about 4.5, almost 5 years, and it was an interesting opportunity to be part of. You're in Miami. If you're part of UM or FIU, you're part of this community. And so I've been lucky enough to work for both institutions. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Jennifer's done so many other things. Obviously, she worked with, she was a recruiter and development director in Northwestern Mutual Financial Network's Coral Gable office. And she's really good at getting out there and bringing in the right people for the right opportunities at the right time, and that's why you've been so successful in what you're doing. Jennifer, let's now let's talk about obviously the Alumni Association, and it is such an important aspect and part of any top level university. Is it's the past students coming back, reconnecting with the school, also connecting with each other, just growing that family globally. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Alumni Association at FIU, what it is you do, and what you hope to accomplish in your role?
No, absolutely. And thank you for the opportunity to do that. That's like a dream question for us in our role. But FIU is so large, and our alumni community is so large. We've got over 200,000 alumni worldwide, and about 2/3 of those are in the Miami community. So Panthers are taking over. We're taking over Miami. We're taking over the world. We've got alums in, over 60 countries now. So pretty much anywhere you go, you're bound to find another Panther. And so for us, that's such an important connection to bring back that community of alumni for obvious reasons, right? So that benefits us as an institution. It benefits our students. And I can give you some examples. So mentoring relationships with our students, speaking in the classroom to our students. So sometimes, it doesn't sound like much, but sometimes that means the difference between graduating or not, or getting that promotion or not, or getting that internship and so forth. So it's really important for us to bring our alums back and get them connected with our students and with our programs. And the other side of that is that it also benefits the alums. And that's something it's also part of my passion, is connecting our alums to each other, whether they're serving on a board, whether they're networking at one of our events. You can see the professional opportunities that arise from opportunities that we're creating for our alums. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really great to be able to do that.
Do you have an estimate of how big the alumni is, or how many alums are with part of FIU, globally? Any idea?
So 200,000 all around the world. We've got alums everywhere. We've got probably over the 100,000 mark just in the Miami area, and then we've got alums all over the world in different countries, over 60 countries worldwide. So it's a huge network. And like I said, you can find an alum anywhere. And we've had many alums who have moved out of Miami, and they'll call us and say, hey, I'm moving to India. I've got a project over there I'm doing for work. Can you connect me with alums over there? And, of course, we've got them. And so they develop their own little niche group over in different places of the world. So that's really cool to see.
It's you just mentioned a number, 60 countries. Is that correct?
Over 60, yeah.
Well, that happens to be around the number of countries that are listening to our global all business radio network, which is
awesome.
Yes, 60 countries and 7 continents. And
wow, that's incredible.
Gee, it's kind of ironic that the number is about the same. Maybe you have a big part of our global audience or alumni from FIU. You never know, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And I encourage you guys to reach out to us if you're in a different part of the world and you want to meet FIU alums in that area, or you want to start an alumni chapter in your area. We're happy to help with that.
Jennifer will travel the world to get to say hello to you. Is that right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Hey, so do you again? Getting back to the connection between the alumni and the current students, where this whole idea of paying it forward.
Right.
What are some of the things that you've been able to see or witness with the alumni coming back, and what are some of the contributions that they've been able to make to help really to enhance that learning experience for the current students?
I think as I think about it, one of the most impactful areas is really with our mentor program and our alums who, will develop a one-on-one relationship with a student. And it lasts for 2 semesters. Typically, we encourage our mentors to meet with our students once a month, et cetera. But, aside from the guidelines of the program, often those relationships are taken far beyond what the program requires, right? So I've had students walk in a mentor's wedding. I've had students and mentors take tango lessons. But really, when you see a student who has been trying to get a job, he's been out there putting out their resume, just graduated, and you see them partner with a mentor, and all of a sudden it just clicks. They take the mentor's advice. They have connections made through the mentor, obviously introductions and such, and you see the progression there, and you see them getting jobs. You see them moving forward in their career. And sometimes financially, it is one of the biggest things. We've had mentors and alums who have met students and they had financial needs in order to continue with school, and sometimes they'll donate anonymously, scholarships anonymously, just so students can move forward and finish. So to be able to be kind of the broker in that transaction is really, really cool, which is why I just love what I do,
Now, there is, I think, part of what you do is to roll out programs, create initiatives that will enhance the alumni experience and also the connection with the current students. One perfect example of that is a big event that's coming up now in April, the 2nd Annual Women's Leadership Summit. I know
we're so excited about it.
You broke the ice last year. It was an amazing event. Why don't you give us a little background on this event, going back to the beginning as to why this program or this summit exists, maybe a little bit about what happened last year and what your plans are for 2017.
Absolutely. So the Power Up Summit, that's what it's called, is the Women's Alumni Summit. And it started really, it's the baby of our Women's Leadership Council, right? So we started a women's group because it was very apparent that we were just not engaging our women alums enough. We knew that our leadership women alumni were out there, but we weren't finding them and we weren't engaging them. So we started a Women's Alumni Council, and one of their biggest projects is the summit, which we started last year. So for the first time last year was a half-day seminar, and we had over 200 women attending. We had amazing speakers, and the feedback and the reception of this event was incredible. I mean, it was just so apparent that our community was looking for this. They were waiting for something like this. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, on the success of that, we said this will be a signature event of the college moving forward. And here we are in year 2. The event is coming up now on April 20th. And, this year it'll be a full-day conference, full-day event. And we've got some amazing, amazing speakers. For example, one of our keynote speaker is Susan Ford Collins, who is a phenomenal woman. She's a best-selling author talking about the joy of success and success years, right? So there are different phases of success, and she kind of walks you through where you are, in those phases and how to get to the next step. I won't list all of the speakers. I can definitely give you the website to where you can find the full schedule of it. But it's really going to be an incredible conference. We're expecting over 300 this year. And yeah, we're expecting a lot of folks. So we're really, really excited.
This is a dumb question. Is this for women only or guys? The guys have to grab cigars in another room somewhere down the road?
No, not at all. Actually, that's a pretty cool idea. We should plug that concept into the program. But no, it's not women only. We actually have a few male speakers on the panel, different panels, mm-hmm. and there'll be a few lucky guys in the audience, but the majority are women who will be attending and speaking. But of course, our male counterparts are welcome, more than welcome.
I'm giving you a hard time, you know that. So you have 300 and about 6 or 7 guys hanging out there.
Exactly, but look how lucky they are, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
In a room full of women.
You just sit back and say, get in line. No, I'm kidding. Anyways,
right.
The thing that I've noticed too, Jennifer, is that in the last handful of years, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years, there has been an explosion of women's groups, women's summits, women's empowerment workshops. It's all over the place. It's insane what's going on there, and whereas before they were scattered and there may have been here and there wasn't a whole lot going on. Now it's gone from one extreme to the other. Let me just ask you a question. It's like anything else. What is different about this summit as opposed to so many others that are out there in South Florida, and many of them are, quality, and they bring in speakers? What do you think is the uniqueness of the Power Up Women's Leadership Summit?
You know what? I think it's the connections that are made. It's such a big, it's a big venue. It's a lot of people, but there's such opportunity to connect. And with that common element of having FIU in the mix, I think it's just a natural, almost family environment. Even with 200 or 300 people, you can just tell that there's just a different vibe about it. I've been to several of the women's events that you mentioned, and it's just not the same. There's just something about having FIU in common, or having something, I think, in common in our background that just allows us to network differently and connect differently. And so a lot of the women and men actually that we're featuring as speakers are FIU alums. Not all of them, but the majority of them are. And so it's not only, about women leadership and women empowerment, but it's also about, man, I went to school with these people. They share my alma mater. I learned from the same place as these amazing people. And I think that just brings another level of connectivity and excitement, So you should come, Pete. You could be one of the lucky men in the audience.
Yeah, well, that's something to consider there. But there's something about the FIU cachet that just kind of, better look. FIU, whoa, FIU is doing this. FIU's, I better look into this seriously here, because they do everything high class, high level.
Absolutely.
And what happens is, because of the impact of FIU, and I say this sincerely, and everything that FIU does is it's 5-star. It really is. And I really, I went there years ago as well, and in our partnership, in our radio partnership now 4+ years, obviously now I'm very connected, very in tune with what FIU's doing. So you are attracting the very best to just attend the events. And so by attracting the very best, that then multiplies, and you continue to attract the very best. So whomever goes is going to benefit from that. The quality of the event, the institution, but mostly the people, because high level folks attract like-minded high level people. And I think that's why this event, obviously because of the FIU connection, is so powerful. So next year you may have to go to Marlin Stadium, right? Since you're going to have the distinct growth. Right?
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, I can't imagine that this won't continue growing. We were surprised last year really about the turnout. We just, as you said, there are many women's events across the community, and there are many groups, but we promoted the fact that it is an FIU connection, the fact that these amazing people are part of your FIU family, and it resonated with folks. And now that the word has gone out that the first time around was awesome, now it's grown to be this bigger thing, and I think it will continue to grow and attract more and more amazing folks.
Like anything else, Jennifer, obviously we live in an events town. Miami's all about events, and this is another huge event coming up. But the sustainability of any group is in having ongoing discussion, ongoing buzz. In other words, a movement. And a movement is not just one event. A movement is something that's moving all the time, day by day. What did you do anything to kind of parlay this event last year in creating a movement? If not, is that in the plans to have possibly mini events, smaller events throughout the year that can then feed into this one? Anything in the works?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's been in the works since the start of the Women's Council. So this is their signature event. So as a follow-up sort of to the initial conference, this group of women is getting together about once a month. And they're doing different events and on different topics, right? So they've done politics in the workplace, they've done personal appearance, they've done negotiation, all kinds of different topics that are really relevant to women in the workplace. So there are things going on every single month, and we can definitely share that information, and we invite people, even if you're not an FIU alum, if you're part of this community, FIU is a part of your world, right? So we invite everybody that wants to be involved with this to get involved. We're happy to facilitate that process. And following the conference, just specifically on that piece, there is all kinds of discussions that are done online. So there's a Facebook page for the Power Up Summit, and there's comments and conversations happening there all the time. And people are soliciting feedback from each other that attended the conference, or, hey, I'm dealing with this, can you help me? Or has anybody had a similar experience? So that's another really cool piece. It's not just on the day, right? So the day of the conference is awesome, but it's to see those relationships continue that is also really amazing.
What is the group called within FIU? What was it you mentioned?
It's the Women's Alumni Council, but
Alumni
the Facebook
Council.
group specifically.
Okay, alumni.
Yeah,
Council.
exactly.
I wanted to get that there. Okay, so they have. Well, that's beautiful. That's great news, and it's what allows you to really, because there's always, after any great event, the question becomes, what's next, right?
Right.
What's next? And it sounds like you have a what's next, and it's ongoing.
Yeah.
And because in this town we have a lot of great events, but there's no follow up, there's no what's next, and this is what will really enhance an incredible 1-day summit, and at the end of the day, allow the university to fulfill its objectives and what you're trying to do, because there's always a why. There's always a why behind everything that you're doing there. There's a purpose.
Absolutely.
So I congratulate you and the whole Alumni Council for what you're doing here. And this event coming up, which is super. And again, how can the listeners find out more, get involved, register? What do they need to do?
Thank you so much. So the Summit website, so you guys can check out the full schedule and ticket opportunities. It's powerupsummit.fiu.edu. So powerupsummit.fiu.edu, and that has all the information you need about the speakers, the timing, tickets, all kinds. Or if not, you can reach out to me directly. My email address is jcquinta, Quinta, @fiu.edu, and I am happy to help.
There's a phone number here that I'm looking at. It's also 305-348-5495. They can call that as well, correct?
Yep, they can call that as well. I believe that is my direct office number.
Oh, boy, get ready. You better take a couple days off just to field your phone calls.
No worries. We're excited to share, the event with everyone, and the more the merrier. So we're looking forward to it.
You just took the words out of my mouth. There isn't a cap in attendance? Is there a level where it's sold out?
There is going to be a level where it's sold out. I don't think we can have more than 400 in that room. We're at the Jungle Island.
Yep.
So just because of the setup, and there's different breakout sessions, I think we're capped at about 400. So, but again, we're expecting over 300. If we get all the way up to 400, we're happy to cap it. And then, like you said, next year, Marlin Stadium, here we come.
For anyone listening right now, and you're interested in this incredible event, let them know. If you heard it here, let FIU know that you heard it here on Pete Biz Radio, because if you get a lot of folks that are going to attend through this show, then you may have to do a 2-day event. Okay?
Yes, I love it. Absolutely.
A summit weekend. How about that?
That would be great.
And your eyes just opened up. I go, what? I got to do what for how long?
Yes. Pete, we're dangerous together. We can't talk about these things.
No, before you know it, you're going to you're going to have a new building on campus, another addition to everything going on. Well, there's a women's alumni building.
Exactly. I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. You never know. It might grow to that. It may be a multiple day thing. So there's plenty of content, that's for sure.
Well, everybody, you heard it first here. More to come. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for taking your time and your busy day to be with us this morning. Again, if anybody missed all those emails and websites, 305-348-5495, 305-348-5495. You can talk directly to Jennifer. If she's not available, leave a really nice voicemail, and she will get back to you.
You are awesome, Pete. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be on the show and to promote the event. We really appreciate it.
Now, congratulations to you and all of your colleagues at FIU.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Thanks. Bye.